In this video, we are going to create an algorithm called calc_age, which is going to take a number as age, and it's going to return the number of age in days. The problem says use 365 days as the length of the year because age is in years, and do not or ignore the leap years and the days between last birthday and now, meaning that if the time at the moment is not exactly at the end or the beginning of a year, just ignore those days. For instance, if you're 65 years old, then you multiply 65 by 365 because it's a number of days. You get 23,725 days. If you haven't been born, meaning age is 0, then you get 0. If you're 20, you multiply 20 by 365, you get 7,300. We are going to write the algorithm. We are going to trace it, and then we are going to write the program using the thunkable. So let's start writing the algorithm. Again, as usual, we are going to start with the start, and we are going to put end so we don't forget end at the end. Now, in between, I know that age is going to be given to the algorithm, so I'm going to declare a variable, let's call it days, is equal to 365 times age. Again, age is a number which is given by the user, and days is 365 times age, and that's it. Then we are going to return age. Now, to test the program, we are going to use an example like 20. So we are going to use this call to the algorithm. This means that age is 20, so days is equal to 20 times 365. If you use your calculator, you will find that days becomes 7,300. Okay, I've started the thunkable. I'm going to create a new app, and the name of the app, we are going to use the name of the algorithm calc_age. So I'm going to paste the name here. Again, forget about the category. We're not going to change it to private. Public is okay, and then we say create. Now remember that we need to get input, which is the age from the user. So I need a text input, which I'm going to drag and drop here. Also, I need a button to start the processing. So I drag and drop a button. Again, it's on the top, so I'm going to drag it down until I see the line underneath the text box. I'll release it so the button goes under the text box. Now, again, as I mentioned in the class, I do not want to use the name text underscore input 1, so I'm going to change this one to age. Also, for the button, I don't want this one to be called button. I want to call it to submit. And this hint here, I don't want type here. I want something like type your age here. So this is what the user sees when they see the application without typing anything. The other thing, as I said before, if you remember, the return when we are writing our thunkable application right now, we are going to use the display. We haven't talked about how to create blocks to return values, so what we are going to do is just to display. And we already know how to display something. We are going to use the block which says alert. So I'm going to go on the top and I'm going to type alert here, and I see the block here, so I'm going to drag and drop it here. Again, the alert is not going to be shown because it's invisible and it's not going to be here. Now, if I go to preview, you can see that the alert is not here, the submit is here, and this is the place I type the age. Now we are going to go and start writing the code. So I go to the blocks. Remember, alert is the one that we use, age is the text box, button one is the button, and screen one is the screen that we did our design. So as soon as the user clicks on the button, I want to start processing. So I say, when button one is click, do this one. Remember, in our algorithm, we use the variable called days. So we are going to create a variable called days here. So I go to variables, then I'm going to initialize or create a variable called days. And initially, I'm going to set the value to be 0. As I said before in the class, this value can be anything because later on we are going to overwrite this value. So the first thing we're going to do here is we set days to be 365 times age. Okay, so to set the value of days, we are going to go to the value of days. We're going to go back to variables, and we need a set here, set days to. So I'm going to drag and drop it here. And the value is 365 times the age. The age is coming from this guy. How do I get the number that is typed? I go down and I'm going to drag and drop age.getText. I leave it here. Now I have to do multiplication. To do multiplication, I go to the math folder and I'm going to drag and drop the multiplication here. I want to multiply 365 by age. So I put age here, and then here I want 365. So I just type 365. And then I take this one and I put this one here. So it's going to multiply 365 by the value that the user enters. Now is the time to set the message on the alert and then display the alert. To set the message for the alert, set message here. And I'm going to set the message to the value of days. To get the values of days, again, I go to variables and I want to get the value of days. So I'm going to use this block. This is going to return the value of days. Now that I have the value of days in the message, I'm going to show it to user. So I'm going to go to alert and I'm going to use the block which says call show. So I'm going to drag and drop this one and put it here. Before I use and execute the app, remember that this alert is going to show 2 buttons, and I don't want 2 buttons. And also, I want to change the title of the alert box. So I go back to design, and I'm going to click on alert, change the title to calculate age in days. And then I go down. These are the 2 buttons. This one, the cancel, I don't want it, so I just cancel it. And then this one, I want to say OK, and that's it. Now, if I go to preview and I type my age to be 20, you see that it says 7,300. If you go to examples here, the answer is 7,300. Let's try with 65 just to make sure everything is okay. If I type 65, I get 23,725, 23,725, and if I say 0, I get 0.